Says Dvorak?
Yeah, on my emails, or I file on my emails. I have a weird filing system. I have like 100. You're the only journalist that has their own file.
So that's a good thing.
It's because you're so important.
I just wrote a thing about you the other day.
I hope it's good.
I think it's running today, maybe tomorrow.
Oh, well, I should read it before I talk.
Because I blasted the show and then complimented you. So I have to.
I know you can blast me and compliment the show.
I have to say that
you want to sit down?
You were finally right about HDTV, which of course was a bone of contention 10 years ago when we did some Silicon Spin stuff.
See, the good thing about me is I don't remember that. So.
Yeah, well, you don't probably remember a lot. So what's at this show? What's the theme of this show specifically?
Well, overall, there's a very positive thing. It's focused on innovation. I think what we're seeing is, we're certainly up significantly by every measure over last year and the prior year. Whatever it's attendance or exhibitors or exhibit space. Now this thing will be up in terms of products introduced, significant products introduced.
Well, what's your numbers? Exhibitors, how many exhibitors?
We have 2,700 exhibitors compared to about 2,500 last year. We have 1.6 million net square feet of exhibit space compared to about 1.45 last year.
How much bigger do you think it can get?
I'm just happy getting through this year's show. Although it's true we're selling next year's, I think we're in a good size. I like it.
Yeah. So is there any theme that we should be looking for?
Well, obviously everything's being connected to the internet. All devices being connected with each other. There's a lot of focus on tablets, obviously, but that's that we've talked about for years between the smartphone, small screen, and the large screen television. Started with the e-book, went on the iPad, and now you'll see 80 different products introduced at CES. But also, there's other categories that are big. The automobile area, huge developments, not only in moving the traditional stuff from the home or on the go, but also safety related, focus on the driver, eliminating driver distraction, keeping track of your kids driving, things like that. And then, of course, in the video world, not only is there 3D, but there's a connected television.
What do you think there's a lot of interesting connected television initiatives. Is there anything on the agenda, legislative-wise, that the CEA is going to be doing or looking forward to over the next year? Do you see any problems coming up down the road that you guys are going to have to come out and defend the public?
Well, I think the biggest opportunities are now. We're not in a defensive position, as we might have been the last 2 years where we were on certain basic employer issues like card check. I think we're in a position where we see opportunity in a bipartisan way. For example, the biggest issue we're facing as an industry in the long-term future is spectrum availability. Right now, broadcasters are sitting on huge swaths of this waterfront property we call spectrum, and they're barely using it. Only 10% of the population relies on over-the-air broadcasting. We think it has to be repurposed in large part for licensed and unlicensed users to make sure that we can have wireless broadband. Our goal is competition in broadband delivery to the consumer, wireless and wired. That'll solve a lot of the issues involving the open internet, or net neutrality as it's called. In other more core issues, we see free trade is important, attracting the best and the brightest, and some fiscal responsibility by our government.
That should be it. Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome.